Hey, we're back with American Miscellany. We are headed towards essay number 89, which is all about the Church of St. Gudule in Brussels. That's what this beautiful image is all about. But before we go there, I'd like to read this little paragraph here, which is a subject that has nothing to do with the previous essay and nothing to do with our essay number 89. It's just a way of filling space, that the publisher Robert Sears, he just kind of, that's what he did with his extra spaces. He just kind of put sanctimonious little paragraphs in these spots. So let's see what American Miscellany thought about female education in 1865. Let's see what there is to say here. Page 216, Female Education. The present system of female education aims too much at embellishing a few years of life, which are in themselves so full of pleasure and happiness that they hardly need it, and then leaves the rest of existence a miserable prey to vacancy and idle insignificance. The real object of education is to give children resources that will endure as long as life endures, habits that time will ameliorate, not destroy, occupations that will render sickness tolerable, solitude pleasant, age venerable, life more dignified and useful, and death less terrible. All right. So who knew female education was so entwined with death? Okay, so here we go. Let's take a nice look there at the engraving that goes with our next subject. It's called Pulpit of St. Gudule, Brussels. If we can get a close-up. Let's look at that. Beautiful work there. All right. Let's move on to page number 218. And we're reading essay number 89, Church of St. Gudule. The Church of St. Gudule, situated in Brussels, is of the Gothic order of architecture and has a majestic appearance. It is one of the most ancient of the old country, the foundations having been laid in 1010, though it was rebuilt in 1226. Its shape is that of a cross. The door, on account of its location upon the side of a hill, is reached by a flight of steps some 40 in number, and 2 square towers of equal height give the facade an imposing effect. The interior of the church is simple and dreary, and the large pillars which sustain the roof are without any ornament, though colossal statues of Jesus Christ, the Virgin Mary, and apostles are attached to different pillars. The statues are the work of the sculptors of those days, though they have no great claims as works of art. Sorry, I feel like that's a typo. It says sculptures, but it probably means sculptors. The statues are the work of the sculptors of those days, though they have no great claims as works of art. Fair enough. The principal altar is modern in its appearance, and the tabernacle contains an ingenious piece of mechanism by which the Holy Sacrament is made to rise or fall according to the wish of the priest. On the left of the altar is a superb mausoleum erected by Archduke Albert to the memory of John II, I guess, Duke of Brabant, who died in 1312, and his wife Margaret of England, who died in 1318. The monument which covers their cinders is of black marble, surmounted by a lion. Opposite to this monument is that of the Archduke Ernest, who died in Brussels in 1595. The monument also in this edifice, consecrated to the memory of Chauvin Trieste, is the work of Simonis. Charity is represented by a female holding upon her knees a newborn infant, and inclining to the left, she is offering to one older a shell filled with water for its thirst. On the right is a third child, still older, in the attitude of rendering thanks to heaven for the benefits which charity bestows upon himself and brothers. The subject has been often treated, but never more cleverly. The most remarkable object of interest, especially to the stranger, is the pulpit of Saint Gudule, sculptured, I guess. See, and that one is spelled sculptured instead of sculptured, with an O instead of a U, but okay. The pulpit of Saint Gudule, sculptured in wood, of which we give a representation. It will be seen that the designer Henry Verbruggen was entirely original in this conception. It represents Adam and Eve chased by the angel from the Garden of Eden. On the right, death also follows them, and on the top, the Holy Virgin is crushing the head of the serpent with a cross, which she holds in her hand. The work is finished with great care, though we cannot conceive for what purpose the originator introduced the monkey and birds which are perched there, and when we witnessed it, excited the risibilities of the visitors. The other figures are symbolical and easily comprehended.